So we have one great program. It's called a Do No Harm DVD, or a web-based format, and I'd encourage you to watch that. That's mandated that all providers in the MHS, watch that at least once. But again, it's the things like, it's the continuing education that we do, the developing of networks, the developing of mentoring, the academic detailing through our web-based formats that we talked about at the beginning. I think that's real important because a lot of our service members and veterans do get care by civilian. I think we need to know, they really need to know the unique nature of pain in the military, especially with the concussive injuries, the weight-bearing loads and the things like that. I think that's very, very important. And I think they have to look back and also for their active duty service members, remember that we're about mission readiness. And readiness is at the center of what we do, so it's very important that everything that is done goes toward readiness, the holistic healing that's part of the entire individual and including the families, because that's very, very important, that pain just doesn't affect the service member but affects the entire family. And that all has to be brought into treatment in a very comprehensive way. I don't think so. I think that we've done a really good job in being very uniform in terms of our education and in terms of our delivery of the education, and the types of providers and the healthcare teams are very, very similar. And now we have a lot of cross in, for example, a military facility that maybe used to be just for Army, such as us, may now be for Navy and Air Force, and there's a lot of combinations. So from a patient's perspective, it would be indistinguishable whether they would be having care from a different branch, the Navy, Army, Air Force, or Coast Guard. I initially started years back integrating into what would be our medical home for our warrior population, those that came back that were either going to separate from the military or go back to service. So it was a model that we used for the integration of pain. Instead of having pain in siloed clinics, putting the assets into medical homes. I still do that. I still run my clinic there. We have still a significant amount of training types of injuries. We still have many types of injuries that occur even though that we don't have the amount of active duty service member traumatic amputees and such. We still have the injuries. I think it's improved. It's improved significantly every year with the lessons that we've learned, and we've transitioned a lot to mental health and behavioral types of injuries, because at times those now are what's surfacing a significant portion of our population, and so dealing with